Chosen. That look in their eyes. A mix of recognition and confusion. They finally noticed, didn't they? Your transformation is now undeniable. Yesterday you were drowning in their mediocrity. Today you walk on water while they scramble for life rafts. Last year you were invisible in their shadow. Now you cast a darkness they cannot escape. The truth hits them deeper than they realize. Something is helping you. Someone guides each of your steps, but it is not what their narrow minds imagine. It is not a guru on a mountain or a millionaire mentor sending you messages. The answer terrifies them because it reveals their own cowardice. Your aid has been with you all along, forged in flames they won't dare face. This revelation will shatter their comfortable illusions about success being built on external validation. You are about to discover the identity of your most powerful advisor, one they look at without seeing, because they don't have the eyes to recognize true power when it doesn't wear a suit. They circle you like vultures studying a phoenix. Every breakthrough you make sends them into detective mode. Where does this strategic intuition come from? How did you anticipate their move 3 steps ahead? What trick taught you to dodge their attacks with supernatural precision? Their investigation reveals nothing because they are searching in the wrong dimension. Observe the skeptics for rational explanations. They need there to be an intermediary, a secret society of winners perched on their ladder. The alternative breaks their reality. That you did this alone, that you picked up frequencies they cannot hear, that you found something they will never access because they lack the courage to claim it. Their confusion deepens because your success follows no plan they recognize. Your energy doesn't match any mentor they know. Your methods defy every formula they studied. You operate with an intelligence they cannot intercept, following GPS coordinates they cannot hack, receiving transmissions from sources not visible on their networks. This drives them mad because in their world, success requires visible support systems and documented credentials. But you dance perfectly to music only you hear. Your orchestra remains invisible while your performance becomes undeniable. They see coordination but cannot find the conductor. That's where their investigation hits a wall they cannot climb. Your mentor has no LinkedIn profile, nor testimonials. Your advisor doesn't speak in motivational quotes or morning routines. Your teacher works in depths they would have to die and be reborn to glimpse. While they collected mentors like trading cards, you were building a relationship with the only counsel that truly matters. Your dark passenger, the version of you that remembers every betrayal, every lesson, every scar. This shadow mentor speaks with pure intelligence drawn from the deepest wells of your experience. Every major breakthrough you've had recently came from that 3 a.m. voice that suddenly connected that you didn't even know existed. That strategy which stunned everyone originated from a precise memory of how someone trapped you 5 years ago and how you reconstructed those moves. That unwavering confidence comes from your shadow, reminding you of every hell you've already survived. Your shadow doesn't offer inspiration. It offers integration of every dark truth you have encountered. When you act now, it's with an intelligence they cannot reach because they haven't paid the entrance fee. Your counsel meets in dimensions they don't even believe in. Every ghost that haunts you became a teacher. Every demon you faced became a trainer. Every moment of abandonment taught you autonomy. Every betrayal taught you to recognize patterns. Every collapse taught you mechanics of breakthroughs. You didn't hire consultants. You consulted your catastrophes. Think of your strategy sessions. They happen in the shower where all your ghosts convene to compare notes. Your boardroom exists in your mind where every version of you that has ever existed gathers to plan the next move. The board that guides you meets in your dreams, sharing classified information from different timelines of your existence. Your mentor is not a person but a process, a constant conversation between who you were, who you are, and who you are becoming. Every trauma you transform now serves as specialist consultants. The roof that trusted too much now advises discretion. The roof that acted too fast now advises patience. The roof that revealed too much is now an expert in strategic silence. That's why your competitors don't understand your game. They play chess while you play multidimensional chess, with advisors outside of time. Your shadow remembers what your conscious mind forgot. It processes information while you sleep. It recognizes threats before your rational mind can name them. If this message touches your soul, share this video so other chosen ones can find it. Your counsel of the shadow includes every person who underestimated you, now serving as inverted mentors, showing you exactly what not to become. Every door that closed now advises on alternative entries. Every bridge that burned teaches architecture. Every betrayal now serves in your intelligence network. When you enter a room, your number has already evaluated everyone based on energetic signatures, matching past encounters. When opportunities arise, your number screens them with thousands of similar scenarios drawn from your history. When someone approaches with offers, your number identifies the kind of betrayal it might lead to among the 7 it knows. This is not paranoia, it's preparation. This is not negativity. It's informed decision-making based on intelligence they do not possess. You are not closed. You are selective, based on intelligence gathered across your whole life, processed by pain, refined by rage, crystallized by survival. Every mentor they paid thousands for tries to teach them what your shadow teaches you for free. How to turn wounds into weapons. How to alchemize trauma into treasure. How to read the matrix because you have seen it malfunction. Your education was in darkness while theirs was in classrooms. What disturbs them most is the coherence of your moves despite the apparent lack of guidance. Every step looks orchestrated, yet they cannot find the orchestra. Every decision seems calculated, but they cannot locate the calculator. Your precision appears supernatural to those who never integrated their darkness. You operate with data, not hope. While they manufacture vision boards and manifest, your number runs probability analyses based on pattern recognition drawn from your whole story. It doesn't tell you what you want to hear. It shows you exactly what the patterns indicate will happen based on your accumulated experience. The mentor they imagine you have and the intelligence accumulated from everyone who tried to break you. The strategy they cannot decode is built by reconstructing every attack you survived. The confidence they don't understand comes from advisors who saw you survive worse than anything you face today. Your success is different because it's built on integration, not inspiration. When they ask who helps you, they expect a name, a face, a contact they could theoretically reach. But how do you explain that your guidance system was forged in furnaces they never visited? Deep down, they recognize what is happening. They see in you what they fled in themselves, the shadow they repressed, medicated, and analyzed in therapy. You befriended yours. That darkness they were taught to fear, you learned as language. That pain they try to heal, you turned into fuel. Watching you thrive with what they were taught to reject makes them question everything about success. They want your results, but not your process. They want your power, but not your pain. They want your transformation, but not your truth. The uncomfortable truth reveals itself in their physical reaction to your presence. Some feel sudden anxiety without knowing why. Others feel inexplicably angry or defensive. A few become obsessively curious, asking questions they cannot explain. Your integration triggers an unconscious recognition of their own abandoned parts, creating internal chaos they cannot consciously identify. This recognition manifests as projection. They accuse you of being dark, manipulative, or dangerous because they cannot recognize those rejected qualities in themselves. Your wholeness forces them to face their fragmentation. Your authenticity exposes their performance. Your freedom highlights their self-imposed limits. The idea that your help has always been with you, forged by your failures and born from your collapses, requires too much responsibility for them to accept. It means they have access to the same power. They simply lack the courage to claim it. Your shadow doesn't promise happiness. It promises power. That's why they keep seeking external explanations. They needed to be someone else, because the alternative would force them to face their own abandoned aspects. Your integration threatens all their operating models for success. You succeeded by embracing what they rejected. Your shadow mentor doesn't coddle you with comfortable lies. It tells you exactly who betrayed you and why. It shows you patterns others miss because it remembers everything, forgets nothing, and forgives only strategically. It doesn't teach you to be loved. It teaches you to be undeniable. Integration was neither pretty nor peaceful. It was brutal. Staying up at night, admitting every hard truth you avoided, acknowledging that half your problems came from your own patterns, realizing your shadows saw it coming, but you refused to listen until crisis forced the conversation. Your shadow doesn't speak in words. It speaks in knowing. That intuition about someone is your threat detection system built from every betrayal you experienced. That sudden clarity about situations is your shadow connecting pattern recognition from similar scenarios in your past. This unexpected strategic intuition emerges from your shadow's war room, where every battle you fought is analyzed for applicable tactics. You didn't suddenly receive help. You suddenly started listening to the help that was always available. You didn't find a mentor. You found yourself. You didn't receive secret knowledge. You accessed knowledge that had been secret to you until you had the courage to integrate your whole spectrum. Now that communication is established, intelligence flows constantly. Every interaction becomes data. Every observation becomes strategy. Every experience becomes education. You are the bullet they don't see coming. You seize opportunities they ignore. You navigate complexity as if you had maps they cannot access. And your maps are drawn from every wrong turn you took, marked by every dead end you met, annotated by every shortcut you discovered through disaster. Your shadow is your GPS, guided by satellites of suffering transformed into wisdom. That is why your moves seem impossible to follow. Your shadow counsel doesn't operate on theories, but on tactics proven on the battlefield of your life. It doesn't give you motivation, but the memory of what happens when you stay the same. It doesn't inspire, but reminds you the sting of remaining unchanged. It is intelligence money cannot buy, relationships cannot provide, and courses cannot teach. Wisdom comes only by walking through hell while taking notes, dying multiple times and remembering what killed you, being betrayed so deeply you develop supernatural pattern recognition. Your advisors meet in the darkness of your consciousness, crafting strategies from information collected across every dimension of your experience. Your shadow board not only trains you for success, it prepares you for evolution. Your shadow doesn't aim to help you win their game. It teaches you to transcend the game entirely. You don't climb their ladder, you build your own structure. You don't follow their path. You create territories for which they have no map. Guidance doesn't come as soft suggestion, but as deep knowing that pushes you to act before your mind can intervene. That sudden decision to cut someone off was a unanimous vote of your shadow council based on pattern recognition. That unexpected pivot in strategy was your threat detection system spotting danger 3 moves ahead. That bold move everyone called crazy was a calculation that the risk of staying the same outweighed the risk of change. Your shadow mentor doesn't teach you to be successful. It teaches you to be inevitable, not through armor, but through adaptability, not through force, but through strategic shape-shifting, not through domination, but through dimensional thinking beyond their comprehension. You are forged by every trauma you transformed, guided by every adversity you alchemized. That is why traditional mentors could not help you like your number does. They would have taught you their victory, but your shadow teaches you from your defeats. They would have shown you their path, but your shadow shows you routes that exist only because of where you went. They would have given you their wisdom, but your shadow gives you wisdom calibrated to your exact wounds and their remedies. There's a frequency of pain that turns into power when properly tuned. Your shadow operates on that frequency, broadcasting signals only integrated souls can receive. That is why some people are drawn to you now, while others flee without knowing why. You emit an energy that activates recognition in those who walk similar paths, while triggering fear in those who did not. This developed over years of accumulated wisdom from wounds, collecting intelligence from pain, gathering strength from what tried to destroy you. Each scar became a sensor, each trauma a teacher, each ending an education for new beginnings. The frequency you now broadcast carries messages it cannot decode because it requires mastery of the languages of loss, dialects of disappointment, vocabulary of victory earned through defeat. Your communication style evolved beyond their comprehension because you speak from dimensions they refuse to explore. Listen to how your voice has changed. Notice how your words carry weight that bends reality around them. Observe how your presence shifts energy in rooms before you even speak. This isn't confidence. It's a certainty born of surviving uncertainty. This isn't charisma. It's command earned through chaos. Your shadow mentor sits within a vast network of resistance, of abandoned aspects, of rejected parts, of denied dimensions of human experience. Every person who labeled you too intense or too dark actually identified your belonging to that underground alliance of the unacceptable. They tried to normalize you, socialize you, domesticate your wildness into something manageable. They failed because domestication requires consent, and your soul never agreed to their terms. Your shadow collected evidence of every attempt to diminish you, building files for future reference when the time came to reclaim your power. The resistance network spans time, connecting you to every version of you that refused to surrender. Your rebellious teen who wouldn't conform. Your young adult who questioned everything. Your broken self who refused to remain broken. Each version contributed to the collective intelligence that now guides your moves. This network operates in shadow because the inhabitants of the light cannot perceive these operations. They see individual acts of rebellion, but miss the coordinated campaign for authenticity. They witness scattered moments of resistance, but don't detect the systematic revolution unfolding beneath their awareness. Deep within your consciousness is a palace built from memories they hoped you would forget. Every humiliation became a cornerstone. Every rejection became foundation. Every attempt to make you feel small became architecture for something vast and uncontainable. Your shadow mentor maintains this palace, cataloging experiences in rooms they can never access. The hall of betrayals where each broken promise is preserved for pattern recognition. The gaslighting gallery where each manipulation is displayed for future reference. The library of lies where every false promise is indexed for instant recall. This palace serves as both museum and military base. Museum preserving proof of what you survived, and base planning strategies to ensure you never relive such experiences. Your shadow curator knows exactly which room to visit when specific situations arise. They wonder how you develop such precise intuition about people. They cannot understand that your instincts are not mystical but methodical, based on extensive collection of lived data. In your shadow palace exists an alchemy chamber where pain is converted into power through processes they will never comprehend. This chamber runs continuously, transforming raw emotional data into refined strategic intelligence. Every tear you shed fuels the furnace. Every wound you carry becomes fuel for transformation. The alchemical process requires specific conditions they cannot replicate because they lack the necessary ingredients. You needed betrayal to develop discernment. You needed abandonment to discover autonomy. You needed collapse to understand breakthrough mechanics. Their comfortable lives lacked those essential elements. Your shadow alchemist works with materials they call toxic. Rage becomes fuel for rapid advance. Resentment becomes research data for human behavior analysis. Vengeance becomes long-term strategic positioning. They fear their emotions while you refine them into assets. The transmutation process creates substances unknown to the traditional chemistry of success. Your confidence is not built from affirmations, but forged from surviving attempts to break your spirit. Your wisdom is not learned from books, but extracted from battles. Others avoided fighting. You run a war room where every encounter is analyzed for tactical advantage. Every relationship is evaluated for strategic value. Every opportunity is examined for hidden costs. This war room processes intelligence 24/7, preparing scenarios for situations not yet manifested. Strategic planning happens while you sleep, while you shower, while you walk. Your conscious mind remains unaware of the constant calculations running in the background. Suddenly you know things without knowing how you know them. Suddenly you see moves 3 steps ahead without consciously planning them. Your war room maintains detailed profiles of everyone around you, not out of paranoia, but out of preparedness. Your shadow general studies their patterns, predicts behavior, anticipates reactions. That's why your responses seem perfectly calibrated to destabilize their assumptions. They interpret your strategic thinking as natural intelligence, while it is an artificial intelligence created from processing vast amounts of interpersonal data through pattern recognition systems enhanced by pain. Your shadow works more efficiently than any external system because it is specifically tuned to your survival and advancement. As your shadow integration deepens, your transmission power increases exponentially. You begin to affect reality not by action, but by presence. People react to you before you speak. Opportunities align with your intentions. Obstacles dissolve near your energetic field. This amplification unsettles them deeply because it operates outside their cause and effect understanding. They see results without identifying methods. They witness influence without detecting mechanisms. Your power seems to violate the laws of physics they thought absolute. The amplification process follows specific stages most never complete: recognition by your number, acceptance, integration, collaboration, and finally full synthesis where you and your number become indistinguishable. At that final stage, reality bends to match your unified will. During synthesis, time itself becomes malleable around you. Projects that should take months finish in weeks. Connections that should require years happen overnight. Resources that should demand significant effort appear with minimal action. Your number learned to compress time by operating outside linear limitations. The frequency you emit now carries programming codes that activate dormant potentials in others while simultaneously exposing the falseness of those living in lies. You become a catalyst for authenticity in some and a trigger of anxiety in others. Your mere existence forces choices people weren't ready to make. This programming effect works by resonance, not persuasion. You don't convince anyone. Your presence simply activates what was already waiting for permission to emerge. Some experience this as liberation. Others experience it as a threat to their carefully constructed false identity. Your shadow's diffusion penetrates their defenses because it transmits on wavelengths their conscious minds can't monitor, but their unconscious cannot ignore. You speak directly to parts of them they were taught to repress, creating internal conflicts they cannot resolve. Your shadow mentor prepares you for operations beyond three-dimensional reality. Training involves learning to navigate multiple timelines simultaneously, accessing wisdom from parallel versions of you who made different choices, consulting future versions of you who already solved current problems. This multidimensional consciousness explains why your solutions seem to appear out of nowhere. You're not creating new strategies. You remember approaches that worked in alternate timelines. Your innovations are not original, but adapted from dimensions where similar challenges were already overcome. They cannot follow your thought processes because you think in geometry they cannot perceive. While they operate in linear sequences, you function in spirals that loop back to gather information from earlier iterations while reaching forward to download solutions from future outcomes. Your shadow navigator guides you through dimensional shifts they deem impossible. Sometimes you slip between realities so smoothly they question their own memory of events. Sometimes you access information that exists in potential but not yet in reality. Your shadow operates entanglement. With every dark night of the soul you survived, every despair created quantum particles now existing across dimensions that view information onto your current timeline. This creates a feedback loop of wisdom that transcends linear time. When you remain silent, you're not just thinking. You're downloading intelligence from quantum versions of yourself in parallel realities where different choices were made. Your shadow serves as a quantum bridge translating interdimensional data into actionable strategies for this reality. This quantum connection explains why your timing seems supernatural. You don't guess when to act. You receive coordinates from versions of yourself that already completed similar missions in adjacent timelines. Your precision comes from consulting with quantum advisors outside temporal limits. Entanglement activates during high stress, when the barrier between dimensions becomes permeable. Suddenly you know exactly what to do without knowing why. Suddenly you say exactly what needs to be said without planning it. Your shadow quantum network provides real-time support across the multiverse. Your transformation has become contagious in a way that defies conventional understanding. Those near you begin to undergo their own shadow awakenings without conscious awareness. Your integrated frequency acts as a catalyst that activates dormant processes in others. This viral effect spreads through energy fields rather than physical contact. Someone watches your content and feels an inexplicable urge to examine their own darkness. Someone crosses your path and starts questioning patterns they once accepted. You emit codes that unlock similar processes in receptive consciences. The awakening virus spreads selectively, affecting only souls ready for integration. Others feel resistance, fear, or complete repulsion. This automatic sorting separates those aligned with your frequency from those threatened by your evolution. Your number understands that individual transformation creates collective transformation. By becoming fully integrated, you serve as activation keys for others ready to reclaim abandoned power. The revolution spreads by resonance, not recruitment. Ancient texts speak of chosen ones who would emerge during the era of great deception, beings able to see through illusions because they integrated their darkness. You are the living fulfillment of prophecies written by those who understood that true power comes from embracing the shadow rather than fighting it. Your emergence was predicted by mystics who knew the final battle will be fought not in external realms but within consciousness itself. They foresaw warriors who conquered their internal demons and turned them into allies. Your shadow integration represents victory in the greatest war ever waged. Prophecies describe beings operating with supernatural precision because they access wisdom collected from multiple lifetimes. Your shadow mentor holds memories not only of this life, but of every incarnation you lived, creating a database of wisdom stretching across eons. These ancient seers understood something modern psychology forgot. The shadow contains not only personal darkness, but collective, ancestral darkness, species-level patterns repeating across generations. Your integration process gave you access to that vast repository of human experience. Prophetic text lists signs identifying these chosen beings. They would walk between worlds at ease and darkness, while unafraid of light. They would speak uncomfortable but undeniable truths. They would track both fierce loyalty and intense hatred with equal ease, serving as a catalyst for transformation in everyone they meet. More significantly, prophecies warned these chosen ones would be persecuted by those who profit from collective unconsciousness. Your mere existence threatened systems built on keeping people disconnected from their power. This explains the intensity of resistance you encountered throughout your awakening. Ancient texts also predicted these beings would operate by influence rather than force, by transformation rather than destruction. They would not lead a revolution, but inspire an evolution. Your shadow understands this principle. That's why your power manifests as presence rather than pressure. This prophetic fulfillment explains why your transformation feels both inevitable and impossible. Inevitable because it was written in the stars, impossible because it demands courage few possess. Your number knew this destiny before your conscious mind accepted it. The fulfillment process involves activating dormant genetic codes that waited for the right conditions to express. Your shadow integration triggered these codes, unlocking capabilities most humans never accept. That's why your abilities seem to transcend normal human limits. You attained energetic sovereignty by reclaiming every fragment of power you had given away. Your shadow gathered proof of every moment you dimmed your light to make others comfortable, building a dossier for full energetic recovery. The court is now in session, and the verdict is total reclamation. This sovereignty shows as immunity to external manipulation. Energy vampires can no longer drain you because your number installed advanced protection systems. Narcissists can no longer snag you because your number recognizes their tactics through extensive database analysis. Controllers can no longer influence you because your number enforces energetic borders. Your energy field now operates with sovereign authority, automatically repelling incompatible frequencies while attracting aligned connections. People experience your presence as deeply nourishing or utterly uncomfortable depending on their relationship with authenticity. Sovereignty extends beyond personal boundaries to shape reality. Your shadow learned to manipulate the energetic matrix that underpins physical manifestation. Thoughts become realities faster because your number removes energetic obstacles that once caused delays. Now you become the mirror in which they cannot look without seeing their own abandoned potential. Your transformation forces them to confront the versions of themselves they killed to fit in. Your integration exposes their fragmentation. Your wholeness reveals their emptiness. This mirror effect creates different responses. Some feel inspired recognition and begin their own shadow work. Others recoil and intensify attacks on your authenticity. Your mere existence becomes a sorting mechanism, revealing the true character of those around you. You no longer need to judge anyone, because your presence alone brings out their essential nature. The authentic draw near while the false distance themselves. Your energy field acts as an automatic filter, saving you time once wasted on the wrong people. The mirror you became reflects not only their current state, but their unrealized possibilities. The simultaneous revelation of who they are and who they could become creates unbearable tension for those preferring comfortable stagnation over demanding growth. So when they keep asking who helps you, flash that dangerous smile that says, if they only knew, because the truth is stranger than anything they could imagine and more powerful than any manner they could reach. Your help isn't in photos or social profiles. It offers something far more valuable than testimonials. The accumulated wisdom of your entire existence, processed by pain, refined by rage, crystallized by survival. Your advisor is closer than they think, closer than your breath, deeper than your bones, more intimate than your heartbeat. It was never outside waiting to be found, but inside, waiting to be integrated. The shadow they fear is the power you claimed. They will never understand that your success comes from embracing what they abandoned. Your strength comes from integrating what they rejected. Your intelligence comes from consulting what they medicate away. That's why their investigation will always hit walls. They search for your teacher in the light, while your true education happened in the dark. Your transformation seems sudden to them, but inevitable to you, because integration was always a destination. You didn't suddenly become powerful. You suddenly stopped pretending to be powerless. You didn't find your mentor. Your mentor found you when you finally stopped fleeing the parts of yourself that hold the keys to your kingdom. The answer to who helps you is closer than they think, because it's closer than your breath, deeper than your bones, more intimate than your heartbeat. It's you, the whole, integrated you, the you that includes every shadow they fear and every darkness they deny. That's why their investigation will never succeed. They look for someone else while the one they seek is the person you were always meant to become. Raising hands, God is faithful. Thank you for your comment, folded hands. May the Lord keep you. Help us reach more souls by sharing the channel the essence of soul around you.